And I just want to tell you all, if you read the title, you see it says, "The time is now." You have made it through your darkest time. You have made it through your darkest hours. You shall never feel the same, look the same, be the same. You have renewed your mind. You have renewed your spirit. You have a new walk. You have a new essence, a divine essence about yourself. You're no longer the same. You came out of the valley better. You came out of the valley restored. You came out of the valley renewed. You came out of the valley better. You're now in alignment with what God has for you. It's time for you to know that all of the bad days are over. Your hard days are over. Let me make this clear. Your worst days are over. And I was telling y'all on the live last night that you used to worry about, you're not going to be worrying about them anymore. Once, but yeah, the things that you used to worry about, you're no longer going to have to worry about it because now you're leaving it to God. Now you're in a place where you no longer dwell on things. You accept things for exactly what they are, and you leave them in God's hands, and you allow God to have His way with whatever situation in your life. That's when your life becomes easier, when you leave everything in God's hands. When you no longer put all that stress and baggage um on your back for you to carry, when you give it to God, because nothing that we carry is too much for God. So when you give it to God, that's when your life begins to just flow. And that's when you're able to elevate because you're no longer worrying. You're no longer stressing yourself out about things. If something has happened, it has happened. And you just have to leave it in God's hands and know and allow God to handle everything concerning you because God will never steer wrong. God will never steer you down a path that's unsafe, that's not in your best interest. Whatever you're going through in life, give it to God. And it's so much easier said than done to just stop worrying, to focus on the present moment. But I promise you, when you start to do these things, life will become so much simpler. You won't have as much on your plate as you had before. Give it to God. It's too much for you to handle. Like, if you're a person and you're worrying a lot right now, I encourage you to go to God tonight and surrender your life over and surrender whatever is bothering you. I encourage you to surrender it over to God and watch how He fixes that situation. Watch how God provides for you in the midst of the adversity, in the midst of the betrayal, in the midst of the brokenness. God will provide. God is so close and near to the brokenhearted. You just have to give it to God on a consistent basis. We gotta pray morning, noon, night, in the between times. Like, that's how life gets better when you develop a strong prayer life. When you become consistent in your vision for yourself, when you become consistent with your vision for your life, when you become consistent with your, no matter whether you're seeing improvement or not, because God is a God of sudden miracles. God is a God of sudden blessings. So it doesn't matter what it's looking like now. You don't know what it's gonna be looking like in 30 minutes. You don't know what it's gonna be looking like tomorrow. You don't know what it's gonna be looking like in the next hour, because God will do will perform miracles for you suddenly and abundantly. So never, it's like you never know when God will turn your life around. You never know when God will place that favor over your life. And a lot of the times, do you know that we possess the most favor is when we're in our most broken moments? That's when we receive favor. When we're at rock bottom, we begin to receive favor, but a lot of times we don't pay attention to it because we're so focused on the storm. We're so focused on what's going on. We're so focused on what they did to where you're not focusing on the blessings that God is giving you. A lot of like a trick from the enemy doesn't want you to see that in the midst of you walking through the valley, God is placing favor over your life. I promise you, that's when you find favor. You find favor in the midst of tears. You find favor in the midst of the brokenness. You find favor in the midst of the heartbreak. You find favor in the most unforeseen circumstances. So just keep pushing and be aware of what God is doing in this season. Because a lot of times we're so focused on our lives that we're not focusing on what God has doing for us. We're not focusing on that we're currently walking in a prayer that we prayed for. That we're currently receiving things that we have prayed for. You know, the enemy wants to focus on what you don't have. The enemy wants you to focus on hurt, pain, suffering, all of these low vibrational emotions. The enemy wants you to focus on those things. You have to focus on what God is doing. Focus on what God is telling you. Focus on what God is leading you to do. Focus on purpose. Focus on your dreams. And when you become so um connected to God and you get your goodness from God and your life is just devoted to God, do you know when you do that, God, you like when you become so immersed just in the love of God, you will no longer crave the things that you crave, like the worldly desires, like the car, the house. Like you will no longer crave it, and God will give you those desires just because you're so focused on Him. Like you won't even be searching for these things anymore, and God will just give them to you when you least expect it. That's why I say God is a God of sudden miracles. God will make some things happen that you forgot you even asked for. When you get that favor in your life, God will be giving you things that you forgot you even wrote down. God will be giving you things that you forgot you even wanted to attract. Like God has a way of just having a full circle moment. God will allow you to go through the valley. And guess what? He's going to be with you through the entire thing. So, oh my God. It's just like when you get that epiphany of like, God, this is why you did that. God, this is why I had to go through that. God, this is why I had to go through this situation because you wanted me to learn this. You wanted me to learn this lesson. You wanted me to learn how to steward over my finances. You wanted me to learn how to become humble and meek. Like, God will never give you more than you can handle. So, exactly where you are right now today, this is what God knows you can handle. Whatever you're facing, whatever you're going through, whatever God has given you to steward over, that's what God knows you can handle. So, you just have to know that God will make it all work out. Everything is going to work out. No matter what they say, what they do, nothing the enemy does can stop you. Everything is working out in your favor. You always win in the end. And you have to know that no matter what you're going through right now, tomorrow can look totally different. God will literally change your situation while you sleep. You might wake up to what you've been asking for. You might wake up to what you've been praying for. So Just keep on pushing, keep on focusing on the Word of God, keep on becoming a better person, keep on becoming a better steward, being grateful for what you have now, because I promise you, you're gonna look over your life one day, you're like, wow, God, you gave me everything that I asked for. You just have to be consistent with God. Don't just go to God when you need something. Go to God every day. Go to God for everything. Pray about everything. And God knows when you're serious, and God knows when you're just praying to get something. So when God truly finds out that you're serious, He will make everything work out. He will make tables turn in your favor. He will literally make things happen that wasn't happening before. You know, like He will literally make the unforeseen happen for you. Things that you never happen, God will make these things happen for you. Hey y'all. God will literally place upon you a table of blessings. Like in this season, you're gonna have a table. You're gonna be the table. You're not just gonna have a table, you're gonna be the table. God is about to bless you with so many blessings, so many miracles, so many opportunities, many um great people. Like just great things are about to be happening in this season. God says, get ready. Get ready to enjoy this. Every God is about to give you. You have earned it. You have went through your toughest days, and you stayed solid. You stayed connected to God. Like no matter what was going on, you stayed persistent with the love of God. You constantly prayed, even though you didn't know what you were gonna do. You didn't know how you was gonna do it. You just had a little bit of faith, and you constantly prayed, and you constantly just worship God, even though you were going through the valley for so long. Because a lot of the times, that season of when we're walking in the valley and just figuring things out, and we just feel like we're on our own. Sometimes that season can go on for years. You know, you might be somebody that has been in that season for years, and you're finally getting out of that season. You're finally about to get what you give. You're finally about to reap what you have sown. This is the season of reciprocity. All that you have been putting out, God is about to give it right back to you. God is about to bless you in so many ways, spiritually, financially, mentally, emotionally. God is about to bless you with some help in this season. You might be a person that's doing everything on your own. I declare and decree that you have help in this season. I declare and decree that you are not overwhelmed in this season. I declare and decree that you give everything that you're facing to God tonight before you go to sleep. You give it to God. You release it to God. And you know that it's done. Once you pray about it, it's done. It's no need to worry over it anymore because you already prayed about it. You already consulted with the Most High. You already consulted with God about it. So no need to worry. It's already done. Once you surrender something to God, it's no need to worry about it. Because if you're going to worry about it, why did you surrender it to God? You know? So in this season, just know that God is about to knock your socks off with these blessings. The tables have finally turned. It's your time to win. And this is a permanent season. It's not just a season of, oh, I'm winning right now. No, it's not going to be a streak of luck. Blessings is different from luck. You know, it's going to be, you're going to be blessed and blessed abundantly. Your children are about to be blessed. Your children's children are about to be blessed. That's how much God is about to bless. Everything that you have went through, for everything that you have gave without expecting anything in return, for all that you do without expecting anything in return. Person and never get what you give. But guess what? Guess who you're about to get it from? God. Jesus is about to bless you abundantly. You're about to be abundantly blessed. You're about to be so prosperous in this season. And you have been through a season of just God just creating you, creating your character, building your character, strengthening your mind, um, allowing you to be a better person with your finances, allowing you to steward over the little that you have. So if you're a person and you're able to store the little that you have, God can trust you with a lot, right? If you're able to make do with little, God knows He can bless you with a lot. God knows you have a meek heart. God knows, and if y'all ever heard that scripture, it says that the meek shall inherit the earth. And that's true. Like if you're a person and you're always doing the right thing and you feel like nothing is never coming back, just know that it shall come back. Like all that you do, it has to come back to you. And God will reward you for your doings. God will reward you for your heart. You know? And it's time for you to be rewarded. It's time for you to experience what it's like to win. It's time for you to experience what it's like to have divine acceleration, where you're just gonna go up out of nowhere. People gonna think that it just happened out of nowhere, that you just blew up overnight. But no, you have been you have been praying, you fasting, you have been meditating, you have been sowing seeds, you have been sowing into others when you didn't know how you was gonna get through. You still sow into others. God saw that. God seen it all. God sees all that you do. God sees all that you have been through. God sees all that you go through still to this current moment. God sees it all. So just know that you're about to have a massive shift in your blessings. I'm not going to say luck because it's not luck. It's going to be blessings. It's going to be straight from God. And they're going to keep coming. It's going to be blessing after blessing after blessing after. Every time you look over, it's going to be a blessing. You have to train your mind to be able to receive all of this goodness that God is about to give you. So in this season, just focus on the changes. This is finally a season of massive change. Five, five, five. Like this. If you're a person that's like big on like numbers, it's finally the season of the five, which is change, positive change, changes in your environment, changes in your energy, changes in what you do, change just a overall the shift in your life. That's what the five is all about. Get ready for this change. Like changes are such a big blessing. Like when God blesses you with change, that's such a big blessing. That's just like when God blesses you with an opportunity to start over. Like these are like beautiful blessings. And only the strong can handle these blessings, because a lot of people don't look at these things as a blessing, you know? And it's time to know that you are truly divinely blessed. Don't let the enemy trick you into thinking that these things are not blessings. Change is a blessing in itself. Being able to start over in life is a blessing in itself. Some people wish to start over. Some people have made permanent decisions based off temporary emotions, and they wish they had a chance to start over. So be grateful for this season of you being able to start over, you know, and walk a new path and just become a better version of yourself. You're never too young to start over. You're never too old to start over. You're never too young to do anything. You're never too old to do anything. You know, with Jesus Christ, you can do anything that your mind to, as long as you're consistent and you have strong prayer life. As long as you're making consistent efforts and you're taking consistent action each and every day, It's no way that you can't win. It's no way that you can't reach your goals. You have, this is something I always like to tell y'all. You have everything inside of yourself. Hmm? Yes, you have everything inside yourself to win. I'm so serious. You have everything. You possess everything inside of yourself to win. Like I was telling y'all last night, um, you are literally handcrafted by God. You are amazing. You're connected straight to God. You have an open communication with God. You can literally go to God right now about anything you're facing, about anything you want to talk about anything that you want to get off your mind, about any of your plans. You know, you can just go to God because a lot of times we do have to remain just silent about our plans, our goals, our desires, our endeavors. But you know the one person that you can talk to about anything that you desire to do? God. You can tell all your plans to God, and it will only make your plans more. Whether you're telling a friend or a family member or something, and they might just put their own little bad vibes on it and stuff, and just talk down on it and put bad energy on it and stuff. But when you tell it to God, God is gonna bless it. God is gonna anoint it. God is gonna stamp it. Like once you tell God something and is in alignment with His plan for you, oh, it has to come to pass. So just in this season. I want you to really be aware of the power you possess. I want you to be aware of that because it's okay to be confident. It's okay to be sure of yourself. It's okay to know that you are everything that you say you are. Like in this season, you have to walk in it. If you're a person and you desire to be successful, you have to have major confidence. You have to have great confidence, a great mindset. You have to have consistent work ethic. Like this, like the three things, and you have to have a relationship with God be first. But yes, y'all, I love you all, and I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Hey Ava, I love y'all. I'm y'all tomorrow. I think I'm gonna go live in the morning. Have a beautiful, safe Monday, and leave it to God. I love y'all.